Welcome back to Brush Up Your Game. I'm David, and today we are doing Cosmic Encounter Power Showdown round 6. And we're starting off with Fire Dancer versus Crusher. This is a matchup of two Cosmic Eons powers, and two powers that I haven't had a chance to play, seen them played. And Fire Dancer does this really cool effect with fire tokens, whereas Crusher makes stacks of ships, and you don't really get anything back from the stacks until they die, or you can mess with them in deals. But Fire Dancer is just all around a more intriguing power, and something that I think is just a stronger choice. It's not that Crusher's bad. I would be happy to play either, but Fire Dancer to me just much more intriguing. Now, Fire Dancer versus Reactor. Now, Reactor is a new power from Odyssey. At least that's what I'm believing is the case, unless I'm completely off base and just not able to spell. I might be completely off base and not able to spell. I cannot spell. It's from Dominion. I feel very silly now. All right, Reactor. Before flares are added to the deck, you take the flares that match all other players' alien powers and place them face up on this sheet, so you're in control of them. The other flares are shuffled in as normal. As an ally, if the main player is on your side, or if the main player on your side wins the encounter and his or her matching flare is on this sheet, use this power to give that player their matching flare. So that's something you can do. Now this is going to lead to more alliance invitations, more desires, at least early on. So you got to be careful, because giving away somebody's super flare is a tactic you want to be careful of. Now, if neither main player invites you to ally and one of them loses, you can add the losing main player's flare to your sheet, discard that player's matching flare from your hand, or add your own matching flares to your hand from this sheet. So people will invite you. The choice is going to be yours. Again, it's early. Is your first colony worth this, or your second? Maybe your third or fourth, that's where it's worth it. Pick and choose very carefully. I like Reactor. It gives you power. It gives you a lot of power. And super flares are worth a lot. Fire Dancer, very cool. But super flares, worth more to me. Now, zombie alternate timeline does not change a lot from normal zombie. In fact, it was probably the house rule that most people played with. But it's that you get to free... Well, it kind of does. Here, it's your ships go to the warp. It's that during each regroup phase, you get all your ships back. So that way you still get compensation. You still get every effect that would matter. Your ships can be healed. Your ships can go to the void. It actually clears up most of the power issues. Pretender wants to walk 500 miles for you. Pretender moves to the best seat, which this is just chaos. As the offense, after Destiny is drawn, you may use this power to take your alien sheets and everything on them and move to whatever you consider to be the best seat. The player in that seat takes their alien power or powers and moves to your seat. Facets of the alien power, such as Miser's Horde, Warrior's Tokens, and Alien Essence cards, move with those powers. Everything else is left behind to become the property of the arriving player, including player color, ships, hands, planet systems, colonies, tech, etc. Yeah. And now, since you're the offense, play continues from you based on the new seeding order. So other players might be getting lots of turns in a row. Yeah, this is just crazy. Don't get me wrong, Zombie Alternate Timeline fixes a lot of issues. But Pretender is the wackiness of Cosmic. Someday I'll do a ranking video on how well I think alternate timeline aliens changed things, but Pretender just smashes it out of the park here. Bride versus Vox. Now, I did play test Bride. That is why my name is a playtester in the Cosmic Dominion. I was a playtester for a few powers, but Bride is one of my favorites. So that ahead of time. But Bride gives you the power to marry as main player before allies are invited. You can use this power to marry your opponent. That player must choose one of his or her ships, place it on this sheet. You may be married to only one player at a time. Monogamy is a thing in the cosmos here. You and your spouse may ally with each other without being invited and may show each other any cards in your hands at any time. Once per encounter, you may use this power to allow a trade of one card each from your hand and your spouse's hand. You may divorce your spouse at any time by turning that player's ship on your sheet upside down and taking half of the cards in their hand at random as alimony. You may not remarry a player you previously divorced. If this sheet is lost or turned face down, you must divorce your current spouse without receiving alimony. Bride is a funny power. I love what it brought to the game. It makes for some very interesting side games. Vox, on the other hand, this is from Cosmic Storm. Vox has the power to go up to 11. Vox is the Latin word for voice, I believe, which is where this comes from. As a main player or offensive ally, after encounter cards are revealed, you may use this power to choose one revealed card with a value lower than 11. That card goes up to 11. The Vox pride themselves. Yeah, it's a very simple, straightforward power. Vox is not the bad part of Cosmic Storm. Vox is underpowered, but the Bride is just fun. Vox does win history, though. That's a nice story. Now, Bride versus Pretender. I have a much harder time making a decision here. Because Bride is all that's good with Cosmic. Pretender is all that's chaotic with Cosmic. I like the artwork better on Bride. I like the power better on Pretender. This is just bad. Pretender's just more fun, but Bride gets a lot of close points here. But Pretender's going to move on. Now, Pretender versus Reactor. Yeah, I think either Bride or Pretender would have moved on. It's not that Super Flares are bad. No, Super Flares are good. But Pretender, moving seats. It's good stuff. So, Pretender into round 4. Now, Tortoise versus Sheriff. Tortoise, at the start of each of your turns, use this power to receive 4 rewards, and in your turn. Each time you draw a card as a reward, draw the top card from the appropriate deck or discard pile. Any and all cards drawn may be placed face down on this sheet in your shell. Your shell is not part of your hand and may not be used until the end of the game. When the game ends, if you have not lost this power, add all cards in your shell to your hand. If you are not one of the winners, take one final turn. You cannot use this power to gain rewards, and no other players may become the offense regardless of other game effects. You may have as many encounters as you can, even if they are not successful, and even if you lose this power, until you either run out of encounter cards or become a winner. This is the story of the tortoise and the hare. This is fantastic, and I really like it. You don't quite feel like you're playing the game. You really hope you don't get attacked a lot. Or if you do, you just burn your bad cards over and over again. You don't care. You want to be a defensive ally as much as possible. Sheriff. So Sheriff, you have the power to ticket. Once during each player's turn, you may use this power to choose a ticket from your essence card cache and either discard it or give it to any player who's committing the infraction on the ticket and has the cards or ships needed to pay the fine. That player immediately pays the fine. If the fine is in cards, you select them at random from their hand. If the fine is in ships, the player chooses which of their ships to lose. The player keeps the ticket face up. As the fine is being paid, you may use the power to seize it as a gratuity, add some or all of the cards to your hand instead of discarding them, or retrieve a number of your ships from the warp up to the number fined. Then the player flips the ticket face down and gains immunity against further tickets while they have the face down ticket, as indicated by the icon on the back of the card. When all players have immunity or you have no tickets remaining, all tickets come back to you. So Sheriff is about it's a rules lawyer. Tortoise is just epic. That's just it's a better day. The history on Sheriff's good. The history behind Tortoise is better. Everything's just right about Tortoise. Brute was better done with the alternate timeline. Disease, especially in a hidden power game, Disease is just nasty. Peddler versus Hacker. Have I? No? Peddler. There we go. They sell cards. They create a store, 6 face-up cards, 2 face-down cards. And after alliances are formed, if you're not a main player, you may use this power to sell one card either publicly from your store or privately from your face-down store. It just creates this little side game. And I like what Peddler does, and I like it more than being able to just choose my cards in a negotiate system setup. The artwork on Hacker is pretty good, but Peddler has better history, a more meaningful wild, and this super, much cooler. Being able to take cards from the store and keep them yourself, also very nice. Oh, forgot. Tortoise versus Disease. Disease prolongs the game. Tortoise gives you a chance to win. Tortoise moving on there. Cloak versus Usurper. Now, I have a not great experience with Cloak, thanks to Mr. Jack Rita. That is a tabletop simulator issue, I believe. Cloak is not nice. Cloak moves stuff around and either gets to keep the change if nobody can figure out what they moved, or have to undo the change. Usurper. here from Cosmic Dominion, is basically makes every ally play an encounter card face down from their hand. Look at all the cards played by your allies. You can select one of them to replace your encounter card. You can select one opposing ally's cards without looking at them to replace your opponent's card. It's Usurper is weird. I find Usurper intriguing, but both of these powers do something I don't enjoy in Cosmic. They slow the game down, and to me that's just bad Cosmic. They are intriguing, but Usurper is going to constantly be this check. Cloak happens once in a while. It is Cosmic. I can deal with Cloak. Annoying, but I can deal with it. That being said, I'd rather have a store. I'd rather have this interactivity, and the super's way more fun. I will give Cloak the benefit of the doubt. The artwork's amazing on Cloak. Now, Tortoise versus Peddler. This, I like the power of Tortoise. I like being able to have an end, a chance to win at the end. Peddler has a lot going for it, but Tortoise moves on. So, there we go. Another round of 32, or a round 4 matchup. Pretender versus Tortoise. Okay. I feel like we're flying through these now. This is a better fix. We'll keep going with this. I like it. All right. Hey, thanks all for watching. Appreciate your time. Until next time, keep brushing up your game. Take care.